What's up, guys? This is Zach again with New Angle Sports Talk. Tonight we're going to be recapping the Thunder and Portland Trailblazers game number 3, big time game. A lot of highlights in this one. This one has probably been my favorite game this entire playoff series so far. There's just a lot of stuff that happened, and this really felt like the first real true playoff game, because when you think of playoff game and playoff basketball, you're thinking of rivalries, you're thinking of big time plays, big time players having good games. And honestly, that's exactly what happened tonight. We had a lot of players who just stepped up for both sides of the ball, both teams in this case, and really played like a playoff game, basically. So just to start it off, as usual, we're going to see the highlights on the film, or on the screen rather, and just follow along. And there's not a lot of highlights that I want to cover in the first half. Most of the highlights are going to be into the second half, because that's where things got real interesting, in my opinion. That's where the game really started to change and got even more competitive, and I think it just went to a whole nother level. But to start off in quarter one, Portland, right off the gate, they had 2 backcourt violations within the first 2 minutes. Came out, I think the hometown crowd really got to them quickly, and they were just really effective. The crowd was. And as a side note, I thought that those orange shirts that the crowd was wearing tonight, that they gave out for everybody who came to the game, were just freaking legit. I wish that they didn't wear those jerseys. The Thunder didn't. I wish they wore their bright orange and dark blue jerseys, but oh well, it's all good. But anyways, I just thought that was really cool. Wanted to bring it up anyways. Let me know in the comments what you thought, if you thought the same thing as well too. But anyways, getting back to the game, like I said, Portland. I think the crowd, OKC crowd, really got to them. OKC is one of the toughest places to play in the NBA, and I think that's well known around the league. Now there's really tough places, like Utah is tough to play in, Portland's tough to play in, Golden State's tough to play in. There's several other ones. Philly's tough to play in. Philly's kind of a side note though, but because they boo their own players a lot of times. But I think that the Thunder, just the hometown crowd intensity, really gave them that big push in the first and really the second quarter as well too, and really kept this game going in the Thunder's direction. Now, jumping over into later on in the first quarter, Terrence Ferguson again got a third foul within 5 minutes left in the first quarter. This is something that I've been highlighting and I've really been noticing on a lot of the games that I've been reviewing, is that some of these players, they get into foul trouble really early because of the intensity is so high, and that's to be expected as well too. But the big thing is the team. So far, I haven't seen a team be able to kind of feed off of that. And for example, if a team gets in the bonus, they're not taking advantage of it. Like I highlighted the Orlando Magic and the Toronto Raptors game just about a few hours ago. If you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. And that was one of the problems with the Magic. They got players on the Raptors in foul trouble, and they got in the bonus. They just couldn't take advantage of it. They weren't going to the paint anymore, and that was really a big problem for them. Now, switching past Terrence Ferguson, another couple players that had real quick foul trouble was Paul George. A minute 12 left in the court and left in the half. He got his third foul, and Myers Leonard as well too. He also got his third foul as well too. But his was a little bit earlier. His was about 4 minutes left in the half. Now, probably the biggest highlight in the first half was definitely the run that the Thunder got on late in the second quarter as well. So they got on a 10-1 run, and the reason why this is the run that they got on right to end the half, ending the first half. The reason why this was such in particular a big moment in this game, especially in the first half, was because this whole 10-1 run took 5 minutes. So they took up 5 minutes of clock and were efficient and only gave up 1 point to the Portland Trailblazers, and they got 10 of their own. So that's a real big key in the first and second quarter, was defense with the Thunder. They were swarming to the ball. They were playing defense, a good team defense. They were communicating with each other. They switched when they needed to switch. They did a good job boxing out as well too. And we haven't even really talked about the 3-point percentage yet. The biggest thing with the Thunder before Game 3, so in Game 1 and 2, the biggest problem that everybody knows about is the Thunder's lack of being able to hit a 3-point shot. Now, in the first half, that really changed a lot. Just 3-pointers alone, the Thunder shot 6 for 13, so almost 50% from 3-point range. Portland shot 6 of 17, so they made the same amount. Portland shot 4 more. than the Thunder did. And one last thing I'll bring up when we're talking about the first half, because like I said, this changes a lot in the second half, is Damian Lillard. He only had 4 points in the first half, and they really did a good job. Again, defense, like I said. They really did a good job of highlighting Damian Lillard and not letting him get hot. Now, C.J. McCollum did very good in the first half, and Enes Kanter did as well too, and some other players as well too. But specifically, Damian Lillard is that guy who leads the team, who can turn it on at any moment in time, and you really have to watch for him, and they really did a great job. Now, having said all of that, and we all know that teams are going to make adjustments coming out of halftime, the obvious adjustment that they needed to make, and they did make, is getting Damian Lillard back in the game and getting him ready to go. First play that they ran, Damian Lillard got a quick layup on a 1-to-1 he took on, and to start the half, that's how they got their scoring going. Now, this is the part where the Thunder really have to push back and not let the Trailblazers, or any team for that fact, get on these runs, make these adjustments, and stick with them. Because the very next play, Damian Lillard had the ball and he tried to score. Russ had the biggest block probably of the entire game. At that point, that's when the jawing starts between Russell Westbrook and Damian Lillard. Russ does get an and one right after that, and again, that was fouled by Damian Lillard. From there, it really did pump up the crowd even more than they already were in OKC. But again, like I said, teams make adjustments, and basketball is a game of runs. Everybody makes their runs. I talked about in the second quarter how the Thunder had their run, went 10-1 and had their run done in 5 minutes, or it lasted 5 minutes. This is the problem with the Trailblazers, though. They went on a 13-3 run with in a minute 10. So they can just score at will, they can score quick, and they can just get right back into the game in a split second. As soon as you start benching your players to get them rested and stuff, and you bring in your second unit, that's when they turn on the Jets and they really pick up the notch, essentially. But again, the Thunder do enter the bonus again with 4:39 left in the third quarter. This is, again, the big thing. They started taking advantage of it. If you're looking at the free throw totals between the two teams, by the end of the game, Portland has shot 18 of 24, so they shot 75%, but the Thunder had shot 31 of 39. So they had a 15 more free throw attempts than the Portland Trailblazers did. And again, that's all about getting in the bonus. Now, some people will say it was a poorly officiated game if you're a Blazers fan. I am sort of a Thunder fan as well. My team is the Lakers. However, I do root for the Thunder because we're in Oklahoma City where we're at. So I root for them. But in my opinion, and I think I'm as unbiased as I possibly can be in Oklahoma City, is that this actually wasn't a bad officiating game. I thought that they did a good job. The Portland Trailblazers did a lot of swing throughs and a lot of those ticky-tack fouls that could have been called. However, they did a good job as far as letting players play. But the thing is when the Thunder got in the bonus, they really, really made Portland Trailblazers pay for that. And one guy in particular that really capitalized on that whole being in the bonus and getting to the foul line was Paul George. And I think that if you look at the box score, you're going to see really quickly that Paul George really did not have a good game at all shooting from the field. He went 3 of 16 the entire game. However, his free throws, he was making free throws all night, and that's what kept him effective in the game. Now, he played tremendous defense as well, too. A lot of times, especially in the fourth, which we'll get to it in just a second, he was switching on to C.J. McCollum. He was guarding Damian Lillard in certain situations as well, too, and really guarding the best players on the court and not giving up that assignment. Now, Russ did the same as well, too, but again, when they switch, Paul George tended to take the tougher matchup and pay it off really well. But again, the Portland Trailblazers counteracted again. Damian Lillard had 25 points in the third quarter rather, and that was his career high in playoff points scored in a quarter. Jumping over to quarter four, though, that just kept on carrying over for Damian Lillard. He was clutch all night long. Jeremy Grant did hit some big threes at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Really kept the team engaged and kept that lead up there. Now, there wasn't a lot of turnovers for either team. They did a good job as far as just playing good defense and just contesting shots. And neither team really got a lot of turnovers, but I don't think that was a bad thing. Another thing about this game tonight is that there was a lot of trading baskets with both teams. So one team would score, the other team would score. One team would score, the other team would score, and so on and so forth. Usually when you're a Thunder fan or you're watching the Thunder games, that's the last thing that you want to happen because we're not that great offensively. We have our moments, we have our games where we just excel. However, defense is clearly our better strength, our much stronger aspect of our game. But the thing is, the Thunder kept on doing. They did a really good job as far as responding and getting you baskets back and answering them as well too. Cantor at one point in the fourth quarter, he was playing great defense. I wouldn't say he played great defense actually. He played very good defense considering we know that he's not a good defender, but he did good with his assignments. But there was a point in the game where he had shot and made 4 straight baskets for the Portland Trailblazers, and again keeping that momentum between Enes Kanter, C.J. McCollum, Damian Lillard, and so on and so forth, the entire team. But eventually the Thunder did end up taking the W tonight. Score was 108-120 Thunder. A few highlights that I would like to bring up here real fast is, again, 3-point percentage. The Thunder did get the edge in that category, shooting 52% from the 3-point range. Again, I've already talked about free throws a little bit. OKC had 31 of 39 from 3-point land, and then assist was also a huge impact on the game as well too. Again, the Thunder ended with 27 assists, and it's hard to beat them if they're scoring and finding their shot. If they're shooting efficiently, if they're sharing the ball, if they're getting out in transition, it makes it tough. But I honestly can't wait to see Game 4, OKC and Trailblazers play again in Oklahoma City. I believe that's Sunday. So, guys, I appreciate the feedback. Like, comment, subscribe, just as usual. If you hit that bell notification, you should get a reminder each time that I post a video. So that was pretty much it, guys. I'll have more videos out for you tomorrow.